In video 3 we'll be dealing with creating of posts on Fieldlens. We'll be discussing the different kinds of post flags that one gets. These would include RFIs, submittals, safety posts, defects, and general observations. Now, just as a intro into posts, I'm just going to quickly go through the icons of each flag, and also just to give you some general information with regards to each different kind of post. So on the screen currently we've got again the phone app and the desktop app. So we'll use the desktop app just to explain some things here. So an icon that's got a little tick inside of it is just a general task item that one would assign to someone to action. When you get the arrow inside of the icon, that would deal with any submissions that you've done. That could be sample documentation, specifications documentation. It can be workshop drawings that you submit for approval. So that's what that icon is for. Then you've got the question mark icon that deals with all requests for information or RFI items. What we in South Africa also, we've got technical queries that we will sort of differentiate between RFIs and technical queries, but on Fieldlens you'll be using this RFI flag for both queries and information requests. Then you've got look here on the left hand side, you've got the icon that's got a little exclamation mark in it. That's all your safety items. And then also the last item is your observation, your general observation items. It's got this little blue icon. Now for all flags except for this general observation, all the other flags, you generally, when you create a post, the flag would always be an orange color. What that would mean is that the post has been assigned to someone for action. That person has not resolved it yet, so that would just indicate that something is open, if you see on the left hand side of the screen here. Then green, when that item changes to green, it means that you've assigned this item to someone. That particular person has actioned the item and resolved themselves. So change the status of the post to resolved, so that you can then now see, okay, this person has actioned this item, so it's now up to you to go and inspect. And if when you're happy that sufficient action has been taken, then you, as the person who actually posted this item, has got the only authority to actually close this item. So then that icon would change to a dark, let's call it a black color. So you've got orange, that would be green, would be open; green, that would be resolved; and black, that would mean that that particular post is closed. General observations never changes colors, always blue. So that is what we normally use to either start a conversation. It's almost equal to a WhatsApp conversation that you can start with a couple of people on the project. Whoever you invite on when you create this post, we'll go through that a little bit later, but then you can start a conversation. So these items are not actionable items. In other words, they'll remain blue. If you want to just post your resources, your labor resources for the day, this is the post that you use to do it. If you want to just record the weather for the day, this is the post that you use to do it. Just want to record general progress, or your company's on-site general progress, this is the post that you use to do it. So this is just a general post. All right, so who sees what? RFIs, submittals, punch lists, and safety items. So any post that's created with this flag basically is visible to all people that's got access to this project on Fieldlens. So if a subcontractor, for example, submits an RFI to the main contractor, And obviously the RFI would be assigned, if you go contractually, the route that you need to go, you'd assign the RFI to the main contractor. If the main contractor cannot answer your question, that post will then be assigned to a consultant. But let's say you, as a subcontractor, create an RFI, only assign it to the main contractor. Already the consultants can see that this RFI has been created, and they can see the information, all the detail of this RFI. So RFIs, similar to submittals, similar to punch lists, similar to safety items, can be viewed by anyone on the project. So what we generally do as a rule, as a main contractor, we only create task items. So basically we ask our subcontractors, when you want to submit something for approval, you don't flag it with submittal. You actually when you create the post, do not flag it at all. Initially it would be a blue post like this, and then you just go and assign it to the contractor, who is the main contractor. Then the main contractor will quickly check and review if all the information is there, and then the main contractor will just change the flag from a normal post, from a normal task post like here, and will change it to a submission, and that will then open it up for all the consultants to see. So it remains only visible to the main contractor until such point as the main contractor changes the flag of that post. We also suggest that subcontractors don't use RFI, any of these flags, until the main contractor has actually viewed the post and established that all the relevant information is on the post before we actually assign it to the consultants. So subcontractors only assign to the main contractor. Safety, when you are a main contractor, your safety consultant will not use the safety post, but rather also a simple task post, so that you keep all the safety items that needs to be resolved in-house. So we generally, as a rule, say punch flags and safety flags gets left aside for the consultants, for when they come and do site visits and they pick up safety issues or they pick up defects that needs to be on a punch list, then they can use that flag. So we don't flood the app, flood the consultants with nitty-gritties, unless it's actually become a big problem, and then the main contractor will change that flag to a punch or a safety item, should the consultants be able to view it. So that's just a general intro into the different kinds of posts you get. How to create a general post. So general posts usually gets used to record weather, record resources, labor and plant, and record site progress. So this general post needs to be done by the main contractor and each subcontractor daily, so that all the information can get captured on a daily diary report that gets printed. So to do that, you literally need to do only one post per contractor. When you do that on your phone on site on the day. So you go to the phone screen at the bottom, says create post. So create, you're going to go post, and then you're going to go if you're a subcontractor or a main contractor, you're just going to go weather resources and progress. Then you're going to go to the three little dots on your screen. We're going to go, let's go do weather first. Click on weather. You're going to just then spot check to make sure that all the information that was automated by the app is correct. If you accept that it's partly cloudy, that the temperature is 78 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity is what it is, and wind speed is what it is, then you go and save it. If you need to change partly cloudy to, for instance, sunny, you go and click on sunny. And if you want to change this, the temperature from 78 to, let's say, 76, because that's what you've experienced on site, you can go and change this, and you just save it. Just before we save it, remember that Fieldlens only work with degrees Fahrenheit, so you've got to just convert your degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit and then punch that in there manually. So the weather has now been added. Now we're going to go resources, same thing again. Click on the 3 dots and then you go resource tracking. So your company's resource list will then pop up. This would be as was shown on video 2, where you added all your people working on your project on site, and those that's got access to Fieldlens is actually listed in here. So for each individual, you go and click on the person's name. I'm going to click on Hendrik. I'm going to record 9 hours for the day. I'm going to record at the quantity just 1 shift. I'm going to say done. Kumalu, I'm going to say 9 hours for the day, 1 shift for this. Literally all the information you need to capture. That's it. So Lunga, let's say this oak only worked 5 hours, 1 shift for the day. Next person worked 9 hours, 1 shift for the day, and then we go done. And let's say that's all the resources that was on site for today. You go save. So now you've got your resources there, you've got your weather, and now you want to just post some general progress photo of your subcontract works if you are a subcontractor, and of all the works on site if you're a main contractor. So you go photos. I'm going to just choose from the library here. Maybe go and upload a couple of photos that I've taken during the course of the day. Click on them. So now you've got your resources for the day, you've got your weather, you've got some progress photos on there, and you want all the people in your company to see, and you want if you're a subcontractor, you want the main contractor to see. So let's say TriStar is the main contractor and then GL Civils is subcontractor. So now both is in the 2 section on top there, and then you just select post. When you go to your post queue on your phone, you'll see that weather, resources and progress for the day is noted in there. You can go into the app, just go check everything out, list of people, weather and some photo snapshots. And then let's go to the desktop version, desktop app. So to go and check that out. So weather, resources and progress. You can see both the subcontractor and the main contractor can view this post. You can see the person's working on site for that specific day. You can see the weather's there, and you can see all the progress. So that's to create a general post. So what you can also do by creating the same kind of post is to start a conversation between 2 individuals or 2 companies. So you go, same thing, create post. Then you can go and start a conversation. Let's say, for example, so again, just make sure the persons that needs to be part of this conversation is listed in the 2 section on top there. Let's say, for example, for this example, they are both listed, so it's us and another company is asking these questions. You just go and post it, just plain and simple. So that company individuals, all the individuals from that company will then see it, and then anyone can answer it. Right, so person sitting at your office that's also got access to Fieldlens can basically also keep track on the conversation that your site team is having, your subcontract site team is having with the main contractor site team. So all recorded will be part of the daily diaries of both companies, because both companies was privy to the discussion. And that's how you deal with general posts. So let's go to submissions and RFIs. So RFI is easy to create from your phone. Even though we don't use the RFI flag, if you're a subcontractor, you use the post flag. So you go post, you go need So person raising this RFI will then assign it to the main contractor if you are a subcontractor, and would give a due date. Let's say we select on customer and we say by the end of this week, because we're starting concrete pours next week. We make sure that my subcontract company on top there is listed there, TriStar for example, or GL Civils for example, and then we also make sure so it's been assigned to TriStar, so everyone in TriStar will see it, and then we just post it. So now the main contractor, let's go check that on the desktop side. So the main contractor will then get the question that was asked. If the main contractor cannot provide the information and then needs to assign this to the consultants, then only does the main contractor flag this as an RFI, and then obviously giving access to this post to the consultants. So main contractor do not have this information, the main contractor goes add post flag, says this is now a request for information. And then the main contractor goes and assigns this to the consultant who needs to deal with this. Let's click. Right, so there you can see main contractor made the decision to change it to an RFI. Immediately when the flag changes to RFI, like was said in video 2, the RFI basically becomes available to everyone on the project, all subcontractors, the main contractor, all consultants, because this is one of those contractual flags that everyone needs to be aware of. It's then assigned to, by the subcontractor to the main contractor and to the consultant. Consultant will then come back and add the information by attaching, let's for example go the consultant, let's see, say the consultant now adds their bit. So guys, this is the information that you need. Here now I've uploaded it. Right, so the attachment is there, and the consultant can then go and say, okay, I've now, here's the information that you needed. I'm happy that I've given you all the information, so I'm going to resolve myself as the consultant, and you can see everything happening on the phone side as well. You go in on the phone side on that item, you can see everything is an exact duplicate of what's on the desktop. So let's say then the main contractor reviews the information, main contractor is happy with it, then the main contractor can go and close the consultant and resolve itself. Alright, so you can see now what happened. Consultant is closed, main contractor is resolved, and then the subcontractor now, who's the one who posted this, can now basically review the information. If he's happy with the information, the subcontractor can say, okay, no problem, the main contractor can now be closed out. And that's it. That's the life of an RFI. Now you can apply exactly the same to safety and exactly the same to submittals. So the only difference obviously is, you know, the actual for example, on the submittals, the subcontractor or whoever, you know, starts the submittal as a normal post will then obviously from the start already attach something to approve. We'll assign that to the main contractor. Main contractor will get the post assigned to it and then open it, review it, make sure that all the information that will be required to approve the submittal is in there, and then the main contractor will change a flag to a submittal and assign it to the consultant, who then would study all the information, give their approval, resolve themselves. The main contractor will check all that information and close the consultant and resolve itself, the main contractor, and then the subcontractor would then check all the information and then close the main contractor. So then you'd sit with exactly the same outcome as a black closed item. So RFI submittal the same, punch lists and safety, like we said earlier, would be only used by the consultants and the main contractor. So when we get to the end of the project, in instance of a punch list, the main contractor would raise punch items for the subcontractor to close. When all of those items are closed, the architect or whoever the relevant consultants would then also post items to the main contractor to resolve, which in turn would be assigned by the main contractor to the relevant subcontractors. So there's a whole flow of posting and assigning and actioning all of this information. On the safety items, generally a contractor would have a weekly visit from the safety consultant. So the safety consultant would then be on site. If you look at the phone side, click on the little plussy there and click on safety, and can even post direct then from a drawing where the safety issue was picked up by literally putting the finger on a drawing, dragging it wherever the safety issue was picked up, and then just leaving your finger. Say barricading, let's say barricading required. Assign it to the main contractor. Then you can click on the consultant can click on the photo and say markup. Just highlight exactly where the barricading is required. Now there's all different kinds of tools at the bottom of the page that can be used, and then we say done. So, and then let's just make sure everything is in here. And then obviously barricading required. We can say out. So allocation is required because there's some trenches there. So, and then you create. What then happens is everyone on the project will see this because it's one of those important flags. So RFIs, submittal, punch list, and safety items get seen by everyone on the project, whether you've been assigned this item or not. Right, and then the safety item was given even though you've got a post number 46, you've got safety item number 1 was raised. You can go into your phone, go and have a look at the safety item. You can go into your desktop, go and have a look at that. Okay, and then from there on it would follow exactly the same procedure as the rest of the post. So it's been assigned to the main contractor will then assign it to the relevant subcontractor for closeout, and then the whole sequence of events will then play off again to get this to a closed out state. Okay, important, we'll deal with filters on the next video, but it's important then for you to go into your, as per the introduction video, to go into your filters, whether it's on the phone side of it and whether it's on the desktop side of it, to go and see assigned to me or my company, and get those items closed out. Okay, thanks.